Hello, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Hey, Michelle, when was the last time you returned something that you purchased?
Ooh, good question. I'm trying to think specifically. I think it was something with clothing. I think I
Mhm.
did make a clothing return recently, but I can't quite remember it.
Yep.
I know what it was. Ordered some clothes online, and then I didn't like them at all, and then the store had a very, very generous return policy, almost too generous. So I kept procrastinating.
Oh,
Um,
no.
and it felt so good once I finally returned it, and then you feel like you made money even though you didn't, you know that
Right.
feeling?
Yeah, I guess. Sometimes I forget to return things and
Oh, me
then I
too.
the window goes by
Oh,
and then I just
yes.
yeah, I don't know.
That
Um
happens to me too, yep.
yeah, so interesting topic today, a very, on the ground,
Yes.
practical English lesson for our listeners today. What are we talking about, Michelle?
Well, today we're going to talk about how to make the key words associated with making a return in English. So,
Mhm.
you something doesn't fit, some you don't like a present someone gave you. Anytime you need to return something. I mean,
Yes.
again, like Lindsay said, this is very on the ground, practical stuff, and
Yes.
it's important because we need the language to understand what's okay in terms of returns, and also how to communicate effectively when making one.
Yes, 100%, 100%. A lot of stores, especially online, have pretty generous return policies, but you do need to be able to write a message or make a call. Nowadays,
Mhm.
it's really easy through Whole Foods. You can drop, Amazon with Amazon returns at least.
Mhm.
Have you done those drop boxes where you can
Um,
just
I
put in the
haven't
box?
done I haven't done the drop boxes, but, I yeah, that's I think Amazon is the one where I tend to get something and then forget that I need to
Yeah.
return it, and then I miss it because
Yeah, I know.
I think theirs is just 30 days usually, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. But today we're going to get the key skills. But first, before we get into that, Michelle, I want to make sure our listeners know, guys, our C1
Yes.
fluency course is currently in the works. We are putting all of our energy and expertise into it at the moment, and it will be ready very soon. Michelle, speaking opportunities. Our listeners,
Yes.
tell us about that just for a second.
Well, you have a lot of opportunities to practice your speaking and to be interactive,
Yes.
whether it is talking in a conversation group
Uh
with
huh.
other students who are in the same class,
Mm-hmm.
getting to have speaking practice with us. We just
Yeah.
have a lot of different opportunities for you to actually use what you're learning and put it to use right away.
Yes, exactly. Fluency parties, open conversation club, and weekly Q&A with a teacher if you're on the personal coach plan. So guys, the point is what you can do right now is just get on the list. So you make sure you get an email when it's ready, when it's available for a special price very soon. So go to
Mhm.
allearsenglish.com/C1. That's letter C, number
Number
one.
1.
Okay. All right.
Okay, guys, and, just one more fun thing before we get into it. We've been doing these Spotify polls,
Uh-huh.
so we have some results to share. So episode 2270 was, "Are you book smart or street smart?" And
Mm.
our poll for that was, "Are you more book smart or street smart?" So if you're not sure about what that means, definitely go and listen to episode 2270. So Lindsay, what did our listeners say?
All right. So the results are as follows. So Booksmart was 67% of our listeners are book smart, and then street smart 33%. That's interesting, Michelle. I feel
It
like
is interesting.
it also could be different depending on which country you're in. Are you in your home country? Or are because
Mm.
street smart in that case would be different, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
cultural intelligence, everyday knowledge, how to do this,
Yeah.
how to do that, versus in an English speaking, a new country, right?
Yeah.
Living
Yeah.
it as an expat maybe. So, really interesting though.
It
It's
is interesting. Yeah, how that kinda there's quite a difference between the 2.
yeah, this is one of the more divided polls that we've
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
Often our polls will be, close to half on things and, half and half, but this one is really leaning towards book smart. That's
Yeah.
really interesting. I wish I could ask a follow-up question of our listeners to learn
Yeah.
more here. I don't know
Yeah,
what that question would
definitely.
be, but
I
yeah.
don't know. Maybe we'll do some sort of follow-up on it. So, guys,
Mhm.
remember to listen to episode 2270 to hear more. Okay, so let's get into returns. We already talked about this word return policy. So that's one of
Yeah.
the key words for today. So, what is the return policy?
It's just the rule for that particular business. Each business has their own rules when it comes to the window of time in which you can return. Most of the time it's 30 days. I
Yeah.
know for most of our courses it's 30 days.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's your
Right.
policy. And there's a key question you might ask, Michelle, what is that?
Right. So you could say, "What's your store's return policy?" And they might
Mhm.
say,
Yeah, we have a 30-day return policy, right?
right.
Yes.
So, and also part of the policy might be in how an item has to be for returning it, right?
Mm,
They might say it has to be in the original packaging. They might say that it
mm,
needs to have the tags on it still, or if it's
yeah,
shoes, they can't show that they've been worn.
right,
Sometimes it's you might not be able to get you might be able to return it past the window of time, but you might get store credit. So
right.
lots of different things, and a lot of times it's in small print on the receipt, and so
Mhm.
you got to be real careful when looking at that. And sometimes people end up asking in the store when they're considering buying something, right? If they're not
Right.
100% sure if they want it or not, they might say, "Oh, well, what's the return policy?"
Yeah, for sure. Everyone has a different approach to this, but nowadays a lot of stores are just emailing you your receipt because we're
Yeah.
looking to save paper. So make
Yep.
sure that if you do that, you're reading. If you're not sure if this is going to be a good fit, that you're reading that return policy
Yes.
in your email for sure.
Yes.
And then there's refund, which is different. Obviously, but
Mhm.
it's related, Michelle. This is either a noun or a verb, which is interesting.
Mhm.
And this is basically
Mhm.
getting your money back.
Right.
So, in a noun form, I can give you a full refund for that item. Michelle,
Right.
what would it look like as a verb, though?
Right. As a verb, it might be something like, can you refund my money?
Right. Or can you refund me? You say that
Or
too,
can you
right?
refund me? Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, exactly. So it could be a noun or a verb, but very, very useful and important. The next one is also super important. This is exchange.
Uh huh.
And this is to get something in place of something else. So maybe a store won't take returns. Again, like I mentioned, sometimes what will happen is if you do miss that window,
Hmm.
you might not be able to get your money back, but you can exchange it for something else. So the store is saying, we're keeping your money,
Yeah.
but you can pick something else. So you could say, I'd like to exchange this for another color. Or if
Yes.
or this could also be a noun or a verb. So as a noun, it would be, you could say, I need to make an exchange.
Interesting how a lot of these words work as nouns and
Yeah.
verbs. Huh.
Yeah.
And return too. Can I make a return? I'd like to do a
True.
return.
Yes.
Ooh.
All
Maybe
of the
that's the pro tip of this episode. It's not just about shopping. It's actually about grammar.
that's true.
Interesting.
That's true.
Interesting. All right, we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back for a few more. Okay, Michelle. Store credit. Now,
Mhm.
you mentioned this, I think, briefly when we're talking about exchanges, or if you're past the window for a
Mhm.
refund. Sometimes they'll give you what?
Yes, store credit. So you don't get your money back, but you are able to get, sometimes they'll give you a little gift card
Right.
that
Yes.
they'll say, "Oh, okay, so you have $50 on this that you can
Yes.
use in the future." So it's the same idea as an exchange, but
Mhm.
actually I recently got store credit. There Dan bought me a gift. Of
Nice.
course, I returned the gift.
Of course. Oh, poor Dan.
No, I don't. He bought me a gift, and then I went to see, maybe I want something else, but I couldn't decide. And so they said to me, "Oh, well, you don't need to decide today. You can always just get store credit for the future." So
Oh, that's nice. And
yeah,
is that does it have an expiration date? That's the only thing we wanna check.
it didn't, and very exciting, I just got my purchase yesterday. So
Oh,
I did
nice.
remember. So the problem that happens is every once in a while you get store credit and you forget to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, gift certificates are like that. How do you
Yes.
how do you feel, Michelle, about receiving gift cards as a key
Ooh.
gift, like a birthday gift for your birthday, or for a holiday,
Uh-huh.
something big? Do you feel like it's too impersonal, or do you feel like it's perfect if they know what store to gift from?
I'm okay with it. What about you?
I love them. I
Yeah,
love gift,
I'm fine
especially if
with
it's
it.
the right store. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for it. I also like to get maybe a gift card to a restaurant. That's nice too.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, So that can be a thoughtful gift. Even I know sometimes people might think it's impersonal, but like
Yeah.
you said, Lindsay, if it's maybe to a special place, they've wanted to try, or
Right. I think generally with the thoughtless, like the thoughtfulness, it's better the restaurant or the experience as a
the
gift
experience.
card.
Yes.
But I know people who just don't like gift cards, but it doesn't make sense because these same people have stores. I know particular stores they love, and that would be perfect to give them a gift card from those stores,
Yeah.
but they just don't want gift cards. They think it's impersonal. So what can you do?
It's interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. So you could say something like, unfortunately, we can't give you a cash refund, but we can give you the full amount in store credit.
Okay, so expect to hear that store credit and then gift receipt. Now, this is used when you're giving or receiving a gift to hide the amount that you paid,
Yes.
but the person you want the person to have that receipt so they know where to go if they do want to return it. But eventually, though, Michelle, they're going to figure out how much you
Yeah, I
paid
know.
because they're going to go and say, "Oh, here's how much you have."
Yeah, I think the goal is to be nice and show them you can return this if you want. I'm hoping you don't, so you don't find out how much it is, but
Yeah,
you're only going to find out how much I spent if you go to return it.
yeah,
So,
it's also just I think it's just a way to be a little more refined, socially
right.
refined. Because if you
Right.
imagine, let's say Christmas morning, everyone's sitting around the tree, and you gift someone, let's say your mother-in-law, this really expensive sweater, and the receipt is just a normal receipt, and it says like a $500 sweater. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, you spent too much, and there's a
Right.
whole thing, and it's just
Yeah.
not. It's awkward to bring in conversations of money when you're gifting someone something, at least in American
Right.
culture,
Right.
right?
I mean, where I'm sure you do it too, but I'm always peeling off the label,
Mhm.
to make
Yeah.
sure that people
Yes.
can't see. It's always this big
Well,
secret.
that it's actually interesting. I don't know if that's a universal. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's just an
Yeah.
American cultural
It is
norm.
interesting.
And let's just dig into that for a minute here. We're getting into lots of interesting topics that I didn't
Yeah.
think we would. But why is that? Why do we peel off the receipt, Michelle, the
Well,
tag, the price tag when we go and wrap something as a gift?
it's interesting because it goes back to, I think, privacy around money in general. We
Okay.
talk about how we don't ask people how much money they make, and we don't, there are certain things that
Yes.
culturally I think we're pretty private about,
Mhm.
and so money is generally one of them. I mean, the other one is maybe how much someone's house cost, which is
Yes.
interesting because you can just look it up online, but you wouldn't. I don't think you would say to someone, "Oh, how much was your house?"
Yes,
Right?
even though you know your friends are probably going to Redfin and looking up the house you just bought.
Exactly. So it's just funny. We're a little. I mean, and even for the gift, you can look it up on Amazon, or you can look it up. You can always
Yeah.
find these things out. But there's some certain privacy around it. And even so, recently I went to my friend's daughter's birthday party, and I realized I didn't take the tags off, the
It
the labels
happens.
off.
It
So I
happens.
ran back in, and
Oh,
I pulled it out of the bag,
you went the
and then
extra mile.
I
Yeah.
did. I started, with my nails trying to scratch the tags off, and then I looked at the receipt, and they didn't give me a gift receipt, so they were gonna see how much it was anyway. And they're like, "Ah." Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
interesting.
what do you
Hmm.
think, Lindsay? That
Yeah,
is really interesting
I
culturally.
think you hit the nail on the head, Michelle. This is it. So we've talked about our values of privacy around money, politics, religion, sex, things like that are very,
Mhm.
they're things we keep close to the chest, right? We don't always
Mhm.
talk about them in public as much. Maybe that's changing. I don't know. But at this moment, it's yeah, how much money you make, how much money you have in the bank account, investments, things like that. And so what would happen, what we worry about is if we don't take that label off, did I spend too little? Did I spend too much? Did I
Yep.
spend what are they going to think of me? These are all
Yes.
conversations. So actually this could be a cool poll that maybe we'll do that. This will be the poll. Do you take labels off gifts? Is there
Yeah.
privacy around money I would love to know if that's
Okay, so
just
we will put
yeah.
that in, guys. If you're listening on Spotify, we're gonna add that in because this was just such an interesting topic that, again, yeah, I didn't see
Yeah.
this coming either, but this is interesting.
Super interesting. All right, we got to move on, Michelle. So what's the
All right.
last term then? What's
Last
the
one is final sale. Final sale. What is final sale? It always feels very intense when you see it.
I often see all sales final.
Mhm.
Yeah, basically it means you can't return something. Well, actually it's two different things. So final sale, it can't be returned. I'm sorry, this item is final sale, so it cannot be returned, but all sales final, sometimes you see that. I think you see that when a store is liquidating. And
Oh.
they're not going to be around for you to come back and return. It's a little
Uh-huh,
bit
uh-huh.
different, a little bit different.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
yes.
definitely. Yeah. Final sale. Sometimes I'll be looking at something online and it's on sale and I'm excited and then I see final sale. I can't buy final sale online. No way.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure, for sure. I just don't really I don't even shop that much in general. Like
Yeah.
right now I'm still wearing shorts because I need a new pair of pants for the fall. Like I
Yeah, I'm wearing a
I just
summer
don't
shirt. I'm
shop.
wearing No, no, I'm similar. I like to look and then I get nervous and I don't buy things.
Okay,
So,
got
I
it.
know.
Interesting. It does tell a lot about someone, their shopping habits, right? Do
Yes.
they go
Yep.
in? Do they not even bother? It tells you a lot about your lifestyle and things. But let's go into a role play, Michelle, and we'll see what we can learn here. All right.
Okay. So here I am making a return to a clothing store and you work there.
All right. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Hi, I'd like to make a return.
Sure, I can help you with that. Do you have a receipt?
Yes, I have a gift receipt.
Okay, great. Oh, it looks like this may be out of time limits of our return policy.
Oh no, really? Was it final sale?
No, but it's just past the 45 days.
Oh, I see.
Right. So I'm so sorry, but I can't give you a refund. However, you can exchange the item for something else, or I can give you store credit.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look around. Thanks.
Of course. Yes. So paying attention to that. That's the worst when you go in and you realize you're out of that window.
Yep.
Yeah. So Michelle, here you said hi. I'd like to make a return. So again, that
Mhm.
is the noun form of
Right.
return, right?
Make a
Hmm.
return. I could have also said, "Hi, I'd like to return this."
Yes,
Right? I could have
100%.
said that as well.
Hmm.
And then you asked, "Do you have a receipt?" And I said, "Yes, I have a gift receipt."
Hmm. All right. And
How
then
do
you
we spell receipt,
Oh,
Lindsay?
that's another good insider tip here. So RECEIPT. And if you do have the app, you will be able to see this in the app. All
Mhm.
right. So good. So and then you said what? I said what, Michelle? Next.
You said, "Oh, it looks like it may be out of the." Uh, I know you. Yeah, I think you thought this was a little bit awkwardly worded. So, out of the time limits of
I'm
our return
stumbling over my
policy.
words, yeah.
No, 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 no. I'm thinking of what would be a better way that I could have written that. This may be out of. I mean, you might just say this might
uh
be outside of our return policy.
Right, I might say, "Oh, it looks like you may be outside of our return
Yeah,
policy
yeah. I think
window,
that
or
would have been better.
we're outside of the window,"
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Not actually outside of a window, guys.
Yeah.
The
Right. That's a
uh,
metaphorical window.
A
Yes.
metaphorical window. Okay,
Mhm.
so, and then I said
You said, "Oh, no, really? Was it final sale?" And you're asking what were returns not even possible on this,
mhm,
right?
mhm, and then you said, "I'm so sorry, but I can't give you a refund. However, you can exchange the item for something else, or I can give you store credit." So refund, I can't give you a refund, so we're using the noun form.
Mhm.
So I can't give you your money back, you're
Mhm.
saying. However, you can exchange it so you can pick something else out, or I can give you the store credit, and that would mean more like that's generally store credit I think of that's more like for another time, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be.
Yeah, totally. Interesting. So this episode has brought up a lot of really
Mhm.
insightful things that we hadn't even considered bringing up today, like money and American culture and
Yep.
spellings of weird words.
Yeah.
Why do we say receipt when it has a P in it? So
So weird. Yeah.
Michelle, for a takeaway, I think I want to make sure our listeners, if you guys are living in an English speaking country, the US, England, Australia, don't avoid making a return if
Yeah.
you need to. If you have every right
Yes.
to do it, but you're afraid of having that conversation, there's no better practice than the moments when you are heightened, maybe you're a little nervous. Because when we're actually emotionally activated, we learn things better as we're doing the thing that, as we're using the
Right.
words. So go up to that desk, return that item, challenge yourself. This would be a really cool way to
Yeah.
don't do it if you don't,
Right,
if you
right.
don't
You don't
need
need to buy
to.
something and then return it just
Yeah,
to give it a
yeah.
try.
Exactly. Just go for it. Don't be afraid because this is how we get better. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this
Mhm.
was a lot of fun, and guys, look out for that poll on Spotify. We're gonna put it up.
All right.
Looking forward to hearing your answers.
Yeah, me too. I'm super interested. All right. Good stuff, Michelle. You have a nice day. And guys, don't forget allearsenglish.com/C1. See you there.
All
All right.
right. Bye.
Bye.